Hey everybody, this is Jason Heires. This is my second new album review. I'm not going to do a lot of these, but I probably do them for most of the new albums I buy. I don't buy that many new albums anymore because honestly there's not a lot of new stuff that comes out I'm really that interested in for the most part. But this one is something that I really like, and this is a band that I've followed pretty much throughout their whole career. And this is the Raconteurs, and this is their third album. It's called Help a Stranger. Here's the album cover, and I'm angling it because I've learned that angling it is we don't get the nasty reflection. Alright, so this is their third album. It's a good solid album. Now, just to remind you, the Raconteurs is kind of a super group. You got Brendan Benson, who's a really solid guitar player and singer, and he has a pretty extensive solo career. You have Jack White, of course, who has been involved with many different projects. You have Jack Lawrence, who plays bass, and you have Patrick Keeley, who plays drums. They come out of a band called the Greenhorns, and the Greenhorns were a pretty solid band in their own right for quite a while. The Greenhorns actually recorded a song with Holly Golightly called There Is an End. And then, of course, Jack recorded a song with Holly Golightly called It's True That We Love One Another with the White Stripes. So you can see there's a lot of connections with these musicians. Another musician that shows up on quite a few tracks on this album is Dean Fertitta. And Dean Fertitta also plays on another side project with Jack White and Jack Lawrence called The Dead Weather. And Dean Fertitta plays guitars and keyboards for that project. So Dean Fertitta, though, is better known as the man who is Josh Homme's right-hand man in Queen of the Stone Age. So with this particular lineup, you have a pretty illustrious lineup of musicians. Now, in terms of songwriting, this is split pretty much 50-50 between Brendan Benson and Jack White. So it's a little different than some of the other projects where Jack White tends to dominate the writing. Now, Jack, this is a very good, solid album, and it holds up well with the other Raconteurs albums. I would say that the first album, Broken Boy Soldiers, is still the best Raconteurs album. This one and Consolers of the Lonely, I haven't decided which one I like better yet. I haven't quite figured that out. This album has some pretty strong songs. It starts off with Bored and Raised, which is good. Help Me Stranger, which is the lead single. It also has Don't Bother Me, which is a solid song. It has Sunday Driver, which is a fun song. That was one of the initial music videos that they released for this. There's also a song called Now That You're Gone. That's a Brendan Benson song. That's a good, solid song. And I kind of like the song Live Alive. That one's a pretty solid song. So, generally speaking, I'd give this album a pretty good rating. I don't know, about like a 4 out of 5. It's a good album, but it's not a great album. If you like independent rock, and if you like Jack White, and if you've ever heard Brendan Benson or the Greenhorns or Holly Golightly or any of these people, if you like those kind of bands, you'll definitely like this album. It's a good, solid indie rock kind of album. And in terms of like Jack White projects, I would almost argue that this is the best Jack White project that he's had in a while. His last solo album, Boarding House Reach, has really strong moments, but it's kind of inconsistent. He gets really experimental and not necessarily in an interesting way. And the last Dead Weather album, Dodge and Burn, was, I don't know, to me it was kind of a miss. So to me, this is the best Jack White project that he's had in a while. And so I would definitely give it a listen, and I hope you find these videos informative. Please leave me comments, and thank you for listening. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.